The 790 Adventure R. KTM says it's for hardcore adventure. I say it's not a motocross bike, but it's a lot more than a road bike. I have this bike for 1 week, so if you're watching this video on the day that it comes out, then you've got a week to ask me some questions that I might be able to answer in videos. I'm going to do a video every day this week on my impressions on this bike. This is a bike that I really want to know about. It's the most expensive bike in the 800cc class, well above my price bracket. But is it worth it? KTM would never loan me a bike for more than a few hours. I'm no Chris Birch or Adam Riemann or any other high-profile ex-racer. I'm just your average adventure rider, wanting to take bikes like this around the country, on the open highway, through city traffic, up some gnarly trails, just to get to the places that I want to see. Is this my bike? No. But fortunately, I've got some amazing subscribers, one of which said, take my bike for a week and treat it as your own. What can I say but thank you. Now let's talk about adventure bikes for a minute. Of course it's personal, but to me, an adventure bike is a bike that you can take anywhere. The more comfortable on-road and the more capable off-road, the better. I've tried single-cylinder thumpers, but they're just not for me. Capable, yes. Comfortable, no. Reliable, occasionally. Fun to ride, sometimes. I've owned the 1190 Adventure R for 6 years now and ride it as my daily driver. I find it comfortable, reliable, and definitely fun. That 140 odd LC8 V-twin motor is absolutely amazing, even if its lifespan is questionable. The bike's capability on the roads is awesome, as good or better than any tourer out there. And it's still good off-road, but its bulk and weight are really its Achilles heel off-road, as with most adventure bikes in this class. It's capable, but it's hard work. Sometimes fatigue management becomes a priority when in the bush. So, what is this bike? In a nutshell, it's an 800cc parallel twin with 94 horsepower and 88 newton meters of torque. A 6-speed gearbox, 240mm suspension travel front and rear, and it weighs 189 kilos dry. In fact, I've weighed this exact bike, and it's 192.8 with 0 fuel in it, and that's missing the rear pegs. So, we're pretty close. It has a 20-litre tank, 880mm seat height, and 260mm ground clearance. And it also has electronics. All of them. Lean-sensitive traction control with off-road mode and rally mode. Cornering anti-lock braking system with off-road mode and off-off mode. This bike has the optional quick shifter and cruise control. It also has the factory power parts, heated grips, but they're not integrated into the dash like the 1190 does. Not too much of a deal, but I thought that was a bit cheap. So more specifically, the motor has a 75-degree offset crank, causing a 435-degree firing order. That's 360 degrees of engine rotation, and then another 75 degrees to get to that next fire. It could also be a 285 degree, right? 360 less 75 for every second cycle? I'm not sure. It has a PASC clutch. PASC is just KTM's own power assist and slip clutch. They use some fancy shapes in there so that under heavy decelerating pressure, the clutch can slip and prevent a rear wheel lockup. But under acceleration, the clutch pulls itself together. Strangely though, this clutch does use a cable. I mean, I've broken lots of clutch cables in my life, but I've never had a hydraulic failure. Hydraulics tend to start losing pressure and you've got time to do something about it. Cables tend to go ping and then they're dead. Of course, you can always ride with no clutch, so it's not too big a deal. The bike is ride-by-wire, as all good fuel-injected bikes are. Also, it's needed just for the traction control system to be so fancy. For the outgoing air, we have an Akrapovic pipe. That is an optional extra, of course. The incoming air passes through this filter under the seat. We all know the 1190's bugbear was its under-tank filter. It was hard to get to, hard to service, and it was known for leaking some dust. This one certainly seems easy to maintain, but unfortunately no more ram air. The frame uses a steel trellis subframe and it looks sturdy to load up with gear. The wheels are 2118 and the forks are a split damping rebound left and right. The rear shock is at this shallow angle with braces to the frame and the engine block. All of the suspension has 240mm travel and progressive dampening to prevent hard bottom outs. We have twin 320mm rotors up front with a 4-piston caliper and a single 260 rotor at the rear with a twin piston caliper. So the fuel tank is slung low to lower the centre of gravity and decrease the width between your knees. The bike feels really light as a result, but we'll see how much it impacts traversing four-wheel drive ruts in the bush. It doesn't seem too bad from the front, and the benefits may outweigh the negatives. 20 litres is pretty decent for an 800cc. We'll see what the economy's like over the next week. This bike has pivot pegs, but I've never had an issue with any decent peg that's on the market. My 1190 stock pegs have been great. The TFTs on a lot of modern bikes are just beautiful, and this one's no exception. It's easy to navigate, easy to read, in both day and night modes. I noticed that the indicator has a really long throw, unlike the pressure switch on the 1190. This one's much nicer to use and it has a nice cancellation click. The buttons also illuminate at night, which is pretty cool. All of the lights are LEDs, so no more draining batteries or changing globes. That's a thing of the past. And finally, the looks. It's an important metric for many, but it's really subjective. And if you listen to anyone except your mother, then you're doing it wrong. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Anyway, the sun's going to be shining tomorrow, so I'm going to go and put a few kilometres on this bike and let you know what it's like for the average punter. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to have a video up every day this week on this bike. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Stay tuned, and if you've got some questions in the next couple of days, let me know, and I'll try and answer them, or I'll take this out and do whatever it is that you wanted to know if it can do. Mind you, it's not my bike. There is sort of a limit as to how far I can push it. Although even if it was my bike, there's probably a bit of a limit to how far I push it because it's a lot of money. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.